All right, so we are here to give you our 2025 updated pros and cons of living here on 30A. And guys, we are gonna make this brutally honest. We want to give you everything, the real information of what it's actually like living here. So I'm not gonna hold anything back today. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel. I would love to introduce to you my beautiful daughter, Christina Robertson. Christine is going to join Sea House, and together we're going to be the power team here on 30A. And we're going to continue to create videos to educate you what it is like to live here. And let's get started and dive into this pros and cons video about 30A. You ready, Christina?
Let's do it.
Well, let's go ahead and start with pro number one. Obviously, our beautiful beaches. We are known for our sugary white sandy beaches. Literally, you go and walk on the beach and all it is sugary white sand. And also the color of the Emerald Coast is stunning. That's why we get this name, the beautiful Emerald Coast.
And con number one is also our beaches. So on 30A, you've probably heard about this if you visited here or you live here, but we do have private and public beaches on 30A, which has been a lot of controversy in the last couple of years, especially. So some of the beaches are public and open, and others it's only public where it's wet sand and the dry sand is private. So when you are looking for a home on 30A, you do have to be careful where you go to make sure you have public access close to you if that's important to you. Maybe some people think this is a pro because if they own property on the beach and they have their own private beach, but for most of us locals who aren't on the beach, it is a con. So it's just something to keep in mind if you want to live here, to ask your agent about or ask a local about where you want to be and if that is important to you, to learn more about it.
There's actually a really good map out there, Christina, the Walton County Beach Access Map, and we're going to include the link in the bio. So it actually shows you where all the public beach access points are on our beautiful beaches. Okay, pro number two is definitely 30A charm, small town living. I remember my husband and I, we considered living in Mako Island, and Mako Island is very similar to 30A. It's a very small town feel. All these local communities, each is different and unique. It really does remind me a little bit of Europe too, and that's probably why I love this area so very much.
Yeah, and if you actually look behind us, we have a vintage map of 30A in South Walton, and you'll see all the little beach towns along 30A, which is what makes it so unique, is there are these little tiny towns in Santa Rosa Beach that are on 30A that all have their own unique and different feel.
As a matter of fact, this map was given to me by one of my clients, Kathleen, and I am so excited. She's a local artist here on 30A, and she gave this beautiful map for us so we can continue using it in our YouTube videos.
All right, con number two, it is very, very busy here in the season. If there's an accident on 98, that's the only road that you're able to use to get to Destin or Panama City, and you will be stuck in lots and lots of traffic. If there's any sort of complication or congestion, it will take you a while. Also, the restaurants are super, super busy during the summer. A lot of them get up to 2 to 2.5 hours per night to even get a table. Obviously, during off season, it is pretty much a ghost town here a lot of the time, and you always have parking for the beach, you always have your restaurants, but it's very, very seasonal, and some people move here and don't expect it to be that busy all the time. Another thing to consider if you are looking to move here is picking a part of 30A that is less busy than maybe your Seaside or your Rosemary Beach that do have the most tourism. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're looking to move here.
Yeah, remember we had the Christmas market in December, and I think it was Garrett, right? They got stuck in traffic because they had shut down 98 and they were about an hour late. But on the good side, they have widening 98. So basically when you go into the heart of Destin, the traffic is not quite as bad anymore, and it is now, they're widening 98 all the way to Panama City, so that's gonna probably help down the road.
Yeah. All right, pro number three, and my favorite pro, and the reason that I actually recently moved back here from Orlando after living there for 7 years, is the lifestyle. I'm an outdoorsy person. Most people that live here are outdoorsy people. I love the bike paths, walking, hiking, all of our amazing state parks here. I love to surf, I love paddleboarding, the springs. There's so much to do outside here, and it's very easy and accessible for everybody. And I think that the people that live here are also really outdoorsy, so you meet people that have similar interests to you. And that is just what I love so much about being here and getting to do that every single day. Go and watch the sunset, all that kind of stuff. So I would say that's a huge pro for here.
It's definitely very laid back and a perfect place for people who love outdoors. Okay, so I guess one of the cons is, yes, it's small town living, outdoor living, but there are really not a whole lot of shopping places other than if you're driving towards Panama City or Miramar Beach, Destin area. But on 30A, you just have a couple of boutique shopping stores to go to.
Yeah, and if there is the bad traffic like we mentioned and you need to get to Destin to go to Target or a big Walmart or a mall to do your shopping, then it can be a pain sometimes to actually get there. So actually on 30A, we just don't have much of it. It's all local businesses, which you can look at as a pro. But sometimes it is a con, so we just had to mention it. All right, our next pro is that Walton County is the only county in this area that you can bring your dog on the beach and you can have beach bonfires. So you can't do that in Destin. I'm pretty sure you can't do it in Panama City Beach, but I will put that for sure right here so you guys know. But 30A, you can get a dog permit and take your dog on the beach if you own property in Walton County or you're here more than 6 months out of the year. And it is so nice to take your dog on the beach. I take my dog on the beach all the time for walks. Also, beach bonfires are so fun in the off season. We do an annual past client event where we throw a beach bonfire for all of our clients to come enjoy, and it's one of our favorite things to do. We do a couple a year bonfires, and you know, the locals love it, people that come in town love it, so it's definitely a pro being able to do that here on our beaches.
We even did one when Judson came to visit us with his girlfriend over Thanksgiving break. We had a bonfire just for the family. We actually did a new moon ceremony on the beach. There's so many things that you can do that is really amazing.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the big cons right now is that you see a lot of mega homes coming out of nowhere. And a lot of the locals don't like that, and there are huge homes. Now there is a height restriction on 30A, so but they're building them on pylons, so they appear to be extremely big, and they are attracting larger family, probably 2 or 3 different families. And that is definitely taking a little bit of this beautiful charm of 30A away.
Yeah, and I would say they build them for short-term rentals, so they don't really give you a homey feel at all. They're usually 3 or 4 stories, and they're built for people on vacation, not built for people that live here. So yeah, that definitely is a pretty big con here in this area.
So one of the other things that's good to mention is that we are starting to develop more and more, get more stores. We just got a new Ace Hardware store. We got a brand new Walmart at Watersound Origin. And so the construction is continuing to grow. So is this area. As people are moving to this area more full-time, away from just using it for a vacation period, you'll see more options of restaurants opening up and some shopping that is available as well for you.
Yeah, and we mean specifically on 30A and convenience-wise, because we've always had all of those things in Destin, but you're driving 30 or 40 minutes, so it is nice to see some more stuff pop up, even though it's not as much as Destin.
Now, one of the things we do need to mention, Christine, is the cost of living. It truly is expensive, and you notice this coming here from Orlando right now and looking for a place to rent or to buy. The cost of living is definitely more expensive. We are way above Walton County and also Florida and national average on the cost for homes. So it is not just the prices of the home, but also the cost. You know, when you go out for dinner, believe it or not, Publix actually raises the prices during the summer when the tourists come in, and you see that they are increasing the average cost on milk and yogurt and eggs. They do that every year.
Yeah, and I think another important thing to mention is it isn't always everything. Like our gas is actually cheaper here than the big cities, but the housing and the groceries are ridiculous. I'm actually going to be doing a full video on the cost of living on 30A. I will put it right here if you guys want to watch it, and I'll be kind of comparing it to when I was in Orlando, the costs, so it give you a more realistic side of what it actually costs to be here on a daily basis. Our last pro, which is more area specific, more Freeport, Destin, Panama City, and 30A kind of all have these. We're going to do separate videos on each of these towns so you can kind of see the difference between all of them, but these I would say encompass everything. The first one being no state income tax here in Florida. That's obviously saving you a lot of money, and it's just, you know, a great pro of living here in Florida. Number two, slower pace of life. In general, all of these areas are very slow pace of life, and you've got that really amazing community feel. There's so many community events in Destin and 30A that you can go attend and just meet people and talk to people, and I love that about our community. I just did the polar bear plunge where we all jump in the water to benefit the South Walton Fire Department, and the community comes together. There was 1,000 of us jumping in that cold water for the cause, so you know, we just have such a strong community here, and I love that so much.
I can't even imagine how she jumped into that Gulf. It was amazing watching all these people pouring into the Gulf of Mexico. And I guess one of the big cons really is that if you like the big town living, you will probably miss some of the sporting events, the concerts. I remember when we relocated to this area, both my children were year-round swimmers, and finding the competitive swim team was really a challenge. So if you're relocating your family here and they're in competitive sports, do your research, because some of the high schools like Niceville offered a swim team, South Walton did not. Do your homework and figure out where you can best relocate your family to make sure your family needs are met. And you know, besides not being having a big city, one of the things we do always prepare in this is our hurricanes. That is definitely something that comes up every year. Sometimes we got to evacuate because we are living on an island, and if the winds pick up, they shut down the bridges, so you got to go plan accordingly. But I always like to say, you know, no matter where you live in California, you have fires. You live in Atlanta, you have tornadoes. I mean, you can't really run away from nature, but it is something that we in Florida have to live with. And lastly, the rising cost of insurance is also a concern for a lot of homeowners. So I always recommend, before you buy anything, make sure you get quotes, understand what your homeowner insurance is, because you have to have home insurance, and then you also have to have hurricane and flood insurance. So that is truly important. You do have to remember you live in paradise, and I could not imagine living anywhere else. I just love this. This is just so me. I love being able to walk on the beach, and now I got my beautiful daughter here. I'm so excited that we can work together and do what we love to do. Go for amazing sunsets, and you know, it's definitely not the lifestyle for everyone. So my son, Christina's brother Judson, for example, he lives in South Florida, and he loves the big city life. This is not necessarily the best place for him. So you have to figure out what you want and realize that 30A may not be the place for you, but if you love small town living, it's paradise.
Yeah, I mean, just like she said, it's not for everybody. Some people love it, some people really don't like it, and that's totally okay. We're not trying to sell you on the area. It's for some people, it's not for others. We absolutely love it, and we hope that this video today kind of gave you a better perspective on some pros, some cons of living here. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. We're going to be posting all kinds of videos about 30A, Destin, surrounding areas, all kinds of stuff in 2025. So subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, and please remember, we're here for you. If you have any questions, please comment below, and we'll jump right at them and try to answer them as honest as we can. Until the next time, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss und goodbye.